That's domestic as
So what's up, guys? On this vlog, the goal, two things. We want to get wheels for the race car because we need two sets, one for the slicks and one for the regular rain tires. So we're going up right now to go get those. Number two, we want to drive the race car. Got the tune done, got everything done. So hopefully after we pick up these wheels, we can come back and have a little test drive in the race car, see how it does with 200-300 less horsepower. But let's go pick up these wheels. They're quite a ways away up in South Carolina. So time to hit the road, and I will check in once we get the wheels or come back empty-handed. Update, guys, we made it. We had to drive all the way from Atlanta to Charlotte, about a 4-hour drive, and we went to get the wheels, and they were good. So we have the wheels here. They are Inky PF01s, 18 by 9.5. That's the biggest you can run in the type of racing that I'm attempting to go do for NASA. These are Inky's performance road race wheel. It's the highest tier of wheel that they have. They have a couple different styles, but these are the ones that a lot of people run. Not a lot of people. I don't know why I said that, but some people run them on Mustangs. They should clear a big brake kit for like a GT500 or anything like that. But yeah, pretty cool. Inky only really sells them in black and silver, but we got ours in gold because they came off of a Honda Civic. I don't know where he ordered them from to get them in gold, whether they were powder coated or if Inky has a deal with some other distributor to get a gold set through a different distributor. But that is what it is. They're really just there to rip tires on and off. I mean, we're going to be going through sets of tires like candy, so we can try to get faster lap times doing these track sessions, trying to just improve and get better and better. So that's the update. 4-hour drive back to Georgia, kind of painful, but was worth the deal. So I finally got around to test fitting one of the wheels, and I have to say, on the red, it looks pretty cool. So there it is. These are ultralight wheels, as I said, Inky's PF01s. Got the car jacked up a little bit, so there's a little bit of a gap, but I think it'll look good once we're out there. I'm gonna wrap them in some NTO1s to start with, and then hopefully next season we're gonna go to a direct slick. Just like I said, trying to get the car closer and closer to competition ready. But that's the update there on the wheels. Let's get over to actually looking at the tune that's on the car now. We're gonna do a first drive in the car with the 4.6 without the blower. As you can see, the car is off of its jack stands and ready to go rip. So we'll give it a test drive, let you know how it feels. But yeah, I've started it. I've just moved it around the garage. I haven't pulled it out yet. Everything feels okay. So hopefully nothing falls off. Hopefully we tightened everything down. But let's back this thing out and let's go do a test drive. So here we go. We're going to listen for, well, the motor to work, for anything falling off, any bolts, anything. Really just making sure it gets up to temp, everything runs good, and then hopefully everything's good to go. So let's go do a first drive. Way different. that's doing it. Sounds good, revs good, feels good, goes through the gears. Clutch is a lot more grabby. Going to a new flywheel and less power seems to be a little more grabby. So hopefully we don't stall it here. I mean, I'm just driving around town. I mean, the car feels better than it did on this tune-up. Not knocking the last tune, it was a good tune. But I mean, the throttle response is night and day. Nothing at speed, feels fine. No knocks, no rattles yet. Hopefully, feeling pretty good so far. Only 4 minutes in though on the GoPro, so more to come. So we do have a check engine light. It threw a code for coolant or intake air temp, which I don't think the stock ECU even uses. That's part of what got spliced into the harness for the supercharger. I need to research a little more on that. And then a fuel pressure sensor for the dash reads high, so I don't get any fuel gauge, which is fine. No big deal there. So far so good. So after 10 minutes, everything feels good. Car's warmed up, not getting hot. Probably time to take a little trip to Mexico and see how it pulls now. Not fast, but not slow. Feels pretty good. It pulls pretty hard. That was only about 5,500. Feels pretty good. Didn't see any smoke out the back. I think this motor's pretty healthy. So, looking pretty good. So far, so good. Should be a good ripper at the track. Pretty good. All right, so assessment. Car works fine. That's my first like solo type. I know I had a lot of help thanks to my buddy Brian, my buddy Will, my roommates for helping out. That's really my first solo motor swap in my own garage. Everything's working flawlessly. The coolant temp is where it should be. The oil pressure is super high. Just kidding, that gauge is broke. But the car pulls strong, sounds good. It doesn't pull as strong as with the blower, but I feel like the throttle is more consistent than the old tune. I mentioned that earlier, but I think that'll help definitely on autocross, where you're really getting out of the hole and you're between kind of RPMs for the most part. On the road course, obviously that top end was helping, but being more consistent on the throttle through the corner is going to help, although hammer down, I mean, it hardly even breaks the tires loose, whereas before, I mean, second gear, it would just ignite them. So let's go spin some tires. So there you have it. The car still does a burnout. So we are well on our way to getting back to the racetrack. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe below and stick along for some more action.